So going back to Earth being a school, right? And I speak on going through horrible things because I speak on things that I've gone through, and so my thing has been like a series of unfortunate events, right? But with that that being so, I can abstract the lesson out of it, right? And choose to forgive and choose to heal and choose to evolve, right? Because by doing the opposite of that, then I am becoming part of the problem. I'm becoming part of the negativity. I'm contributing to uh, the darker forces, right? So we all have free will. We all have free will, and that's where our free will comes into play. No matter what has been done to us, we can choose to heal. We can choose to love. We can choose to forgive. We can choose to evolve, right? And because of the programming that has been instilled in us, we sometimes have a hard time doing so. And also based on the experiences that we've gone through. See, like, and I always speak on me. So you're going to hear me say, like, see, I have every right, or there's so many horrible things that have happened that it'll be justifiable for me to just not be a good person, right? But I choose to love, and I choose to heal. And based on that, and based on also on what I've learned about humanity, about the world, about how we have been programmed to believe certain things and to choose certain things that are just not beneficial for us, because they're not teaching us what we need to know. So when it comes to like Earth, right, and us being here and the families that we're born into and the people that come across our path, right, and the experiences that we have, because we are a soul, we're spiritual beings having a human experience, and this here is the vessel that we occupy, our meat suit, to per se. I can, based on my experience, speak on how we choose the families that we reincarnate into. So that we can choose them for different reasons. It could be so that our souls could evolve. We might have direct contracts with the Most High God, where we're supposed to, in those bloodlines, break generational curses and choose a different path. And sometimes, in order to do that, we have to detach from these people. We have to choose ourselves, because they have been succumbed by negativity, by dark forces. And once we go ahead and we break those generational curses, where we say, this stops with me, this ends with me, these negative patterns, these habits, these things that you guys do end with me, right? Then because we choose to do that, we break those generational curses. We choose ourselves, right? Because a lot of the things that are happening in these bloodlines have been happening generations after generations, lifetimes after lifetimes, where sometimes the women or the men didn't have the choices that we have today, where we're able to actually choose. Some didn't, were not able to do that, or they were too afraid to do so, right? Or they stood quiet, or they kept just taking it because they wanted to fulfill other people, to satisfy society, to they just had different perspectives on things, right? But here we come, where we're coming in and we're saying, hey, I'm not going to allow myself to keep going through this, and I'm not going to put myself or my children through this ends with me. And so when we do that, we are not looked up, we're not looked on very well. Sometimes we're casted out from those bloodlines, from those families, but internally we know that we did what we were supposed to do, right? And that as we heal, they also heal. Whether they see it today, right now, or not, eventually, later on, they'll be able to see that, that those patterns, those activities that were going on that were so dark, no longer happening, right? And our children won't have to deal with this today. So the point being, Earth is a school. We reincarnate into families, into bloodlines that sometimes are negative because we choose to. Before we come here with our free will, we choose the families that we reincarnate into. We choose a lot of people that we are going to encounter. So, like, for example, it's important that we forgive, because anything that we don't forgive now while we're here, we have to, when we come back and we reincarnate, we have to go through it again with these people and leave them with love and light so that we don't have to find them again in another lifetime, which is why it's important that we heal and that we detach from everything. Anything that we pass judgment on, we have to, again, reincarnate and do it again until we learn not to pass judgment. And so we're not taught this because of the programming, because of religion, because of the different false belief systems that have been put in place to keep us distracted, to keep us from digging into deeper truths. We sometimes, well, a lot of times, most of the time, we're out here passing judgment, judging people, and not choosing ourselves, not choosing to go within, not choosing to detach, not choosing to question things. And the reality of the matter is that this is a school, and we come here to evolve our souls. And we don't have to wait until we pass away to have heaven on earth, because it's all within, right? And nobody's coming from anywhere to save us. We have to choose to save ourselves. And we do that through self-love, through radical self-acceptance, through approving of all the experiences that we went through. And by approving them, we, on the other hand, accept that they happened. That doesn't mean that we accept that that was the treatment that we were supposed to get, but we approve that in order for us to be the people that we are today, we needed to go through that. We needed to have those experiences. We had to go through those things, and that's how we stop karmic lessons, right? Because we gain the lessons, we gain the knowledge from whatever experience it was that we went through, and then when it presents itself again, we make better choices for ourselves because we've gained the lesson out of it. I hope that makes sense. That was a lot. So that's a way to look at things, especially when we're looking at horrible things that happen to us, especially in our childhood. It's not that God is not there. It's not that God is not seeing what's happening. It's not why. Sometimes we ask, why doesn't God make it stop? Why doesn't God put his hand in and, like, takes us out of it? Well, one, we have to gain the experience out of it, right? Because we have free will, and there are certain things that we chose. Just like there are certain things that are destined for us, right, that they must happen the same way, like, that God has to do. Like, if we made a contract with God and God said he was going to deliver this and this and that, he'll deliver this and that for us. It might not be how we thought he'll deliver it, but he will fulfill his end of the contract, right? The same way with ourselves. We choose to, when we reincarnate, to go through certain things, through certain experiences. And God is right there inside of us, going through it with us as well. That's why when I speak on, like, self-love, and, like, sometimes I say, it's important that we take care of our vessel, that we take care of our body, because God lives within us, right? And sometimes, like, when I go to the gym, I'm going with God to the gym. When I go to the mall, I'm going with God to the mall. When I go to be in nature, I'm going to be in nature with God, because God is inside of me. So anywhere that I go, God comes with, right? So that was a lot. So when those things that we are not so proud of happened to us, or we did, God was there too. But we have free will. We have free will. And we chose the path. Those family members, those friends, those people that came into our life, we chose to encounter them in this lifetime as well. so that our souls could evolve and we could learn those lessons from them.